What's going on, everybody? Hope all of you are having a great start to your day. This is our voiceover for ancient Greek political influence, Athenian democracy. So we're going to learn a little bit about ancient Greece here. Our learning objective is to explore ancient Greece and see how ancient Greece influenced today's Western culture. We're going to hop right into it. From tyranny to democracy. So you'll see 6 key terms right below. Make sure you know these terms. They'll be important for you to know for our exam. Tyranny, what it is, government is in hands of one person who sees power through illegal means. Democracy, what we see today is government where people rule and make decisions. A citizen is a legal subject of a country. Monarch is a king or a queen ruling by divine right. What divine right is it's God-given right to rule. So these people are elected from God, by God, to rule. BCE and CE stand for before Common Era and then Common Era. How did this happen in ancient Athens? So first and foremost, monarchs originally ruled, but eventually they did a poor job, and then tyrants took the throne. So whenever someone does a bad job at something, people are always looking to replace those people. It seems that way. So that's exactly what happened. So tyrants had a great opportunity to come in and start ruling. Number 2, tyrants were cruel to the people. And at about 500 BCE, remember before Common Era, citizens of Athens established rule by the people. So you have demos, which means people, and then you have kratos, which means power. How did Athens' democracy work? Well, the government structure, the way it was set up, who was considered a citizen? You have Athenian women. Yes, they were citizens, but they couldn't vote. You have Athenian children. Yes, but they couldn't vote until age 20. Immigrants and migrants, there's no way they were citizens. And then you have Athenian men, and absolutely 100% those were citizens. It was a patriarchal society, which means it was a society ruled by men. This right here is a depiction of Aristotle. And what you need to know specifically for this slide, Aristotle was a philosopher. What a philosopher is, it's described as a lover of wisdom. What you need to know exactly from this slide, Aristotle's politics really influenced the founding fathers, and they relied on it in developing the U.S. Constitution. So it was a big influence in establishing the U.S. Constitution. We have 2 quotes by Aristotle, or from his book. One principle of liberty is for all to rule and be ruled in turn. The majority must be supreme and just. Every citizen must have equality. How does this influence the America today? How it influences America today? Direct democracy. It's where male citizens were able to and expected to directly participate in lawmaking. In today's society, people who are 18 or older are expected to vote. Thousands of Athenian males would meet at dawn several times a month to accept or reject proposed laws. So it wasn't just one person making decisions, it was thousands of Athenian men. Some slaves in Athens were given a unique task. They were given rope dipped in red paint, in which they would round up Athenian men who were walking around the marketplace rather than attending the political meetings. So they were all expected to go if you were a citizen. So you have two questions to really ponder. How are ancient Athenian democratic ideas and their system similar to America today? And the second question is, how is this different? So ponder this for a second, think about it. You should be able to find those answers in these last slides. Remember, it's similar in the sense of we have democracy, we're able to vote, pass laws, have a say in what goes down in our country. Number 2, how is it different? Not just men, but women and people over the age of 18, unless there's certain restrictions, are able to vote or able to participate in this process. Day in the life, this will be a link for you for a video. If you need that, just let me know. So we'll move on to ancient Greek political influence. Spartan oligarchy. Spartan oligarchy. So you have key terms again here. So why oligarchy? So oligarchy, what it is, it's a government system where a few, usually upper class, rule. The word underneath this, militarism, a system focused on military values and building up forces for conquest or defense. So make sure you know that. Those are important. Helots, what a helot was a people of a nearby tribe enslaved by the Spartans for farming purposes. So these were people who were in slavery and worked for these Spartan people. And you got to think, these helots were not citizens, so they were not granted the right to vote. And you have a gonj, which is Spartan training program. So young men started this at age 7. We'll learn about that in a second. Why an oligarchy? It's a political system. Spartan was ruled by 2 kings. Spartan was ruled by 2 kings. The reason why they were ruled by 2 kings is because when Spartan was settled and established, or Sparta was established, you have different settlements coming in and making up this Athens area. You have Athens and Sparta. They made up this area, and the larger of the settlements came to an agreement that they would rule dually. So there were 2 kings. Political system, Senate of 28 men, 60 years or older, judges propose laws, all military professionals and veterans. How Spartan society works. So you have boys started to gonj at age 7. Girls were educated and trained physically. You'll see later on, so right around 18, girls were expected to birth warriors. That was their job, their responsibility, their duty. Children trained to still and forced to kill helots went through military education. Spartan men and women. Women married at age 18. And purpose was to birth warriors, like I had mentioned, so make sure you know that. It's important. Men became professional warriors until 60. So these guys were pretty tough, pretty strong in this idea of being a warrior until they were 60. They wanted to expand Sparta and then control helot slaves. How did Spartan society work? So what everyone else did. So you have helots farmed the land, assisted in battle. So they were there, they weren't citizens, but they assisted in battle, farmed the land, cultivated food for them. And then you have the Perioeci. The Perioeci. Tougher word to say, but Perioeci. They were immigrants or half Spartan / helots. They crafted necessities. No citizen rights, no or political rights for these 2 groups. How did the Spartans influence the world in America? So you have a list of 5 things. Spartans created the idea of a citizen. Citizens belonged and were owned by the state and country. Professional army, militarism, and slave-based society. So all of those played a factor in what we see in the United States, or what we have seen in the United States. How did Spartans influence the world in America? So modern influence, you see professional military soldiers. It spends about $732 billion a year. China, over 335 naval ships, spends about $178 billion. Adolf Hitler once said, or he praised the Spartans, saying Germany should limit the number allowed to live. He idolized and heroified the Spartan soldier and culture, mirroring his Hitler youth after it. So some questions to really ponder. How did the Spartans influence the world in America? So are citizens of a country obligated to serve it? It's a good question. It's definitely one that can be interpreted several different ways. And why does militarism draw such a strong appeal to nations even to this day? So really think about those. We'll end it here. Thank you for listening. If you ever are sick or have any questions, please shoot me an email. I'm more than happy to get back to you. But this is just a resource for you to have to look back to, refer to. Thanks for listening.